Guys, deluded Guna, YouTube's and Golo Kante. Again, people, I'm ill. Thank you very much for the nice little messages saying get well and them things there as I was drinking my ginger tea, man. Them things helped me soldier through, man. My head is aching at the moment with this, but video's still got to be made. So let's talk about Aaron Ramsey. Now, I like Aaron Ramsey. Like, there's talk of him being sold. I mean, I've said myself, if a man's not going to sign a new deal, it don't matter if you're world class or poor. Any football team that wants the best financially and commercially and definitely on the football pitch, if a man's not going to sign a new deal and he's going to run it down in the last 18 months or so, and there's a chance he might agree a move to a foreign club or be tapped up by other clubs for May of next year or whenever, you've got to sell a man. Aaron Ramsey. Now, probably along with Jack Wilshere, and I know a lot of their fanboys pit the two against each other, and I hate it. But probably two of the players that since definitely the last 10 or so years that they've been in that polarizes opinion. We know Aaron Ramsey. He's a decent player now. Some people can admit his talent. Some people think he's people. The same goes for Jack Wilshere. He's come a long way from, we remember in his initial periods how he was a player that used to frustrate a lot of people. He didn't noticeably see what was on the pitch. And then you saw him score them goals and that one season, and then he's been moving mad. And ironically, he ain't had a season like that, but he's having a good season in comparison to the rest of the side's goals and assists. And them links have come back. But I can't rate, better yet, big up Aaron Ramsey for wanting Wenger out the club, innit? Similar to Ox, before Ox went over to Liverpool and he looks more confident and that. Big up to Ramsey for wanting Wenger out, innit? But what I can't condone is the rat thing. Now, allegedly, he's been the one that's been leaking information about Koscielny crying. Koscielny's a dud for that, about Wenger and the meeting and all of these things. I can't condone that. Like I said, Ramsey, I rate that on one hand, 'cause I want Wenger out the club, but I can't rate the snitching thing because, one, regardless of one way you look at it or not, you are part of the reason we've had a poor season, and I'm not digging him out, but you're part of the squad. Everyone's played enough games. Everyone's played enough games, and I'm sure all of these players, if they look at themselves, I mean, it's not even a thing where we've been playing this poor and we have Alexis and his stats are good, so I'm sure if all the team looked at themselves and said, have they been playing well, or has everybody been playing to their best of abilities this season, it's a no. And we're sixth, so the writing's on the wall. You've been a part of that. What right do you have to leak stuff like you're better than and more holier than thou and things like that? That's nonsense. And again, I'm not defending Wenger because Wenger owes you nothing, and I'll be living in life. That's how it goes. Just because you're nice to someone, don't expect that back. And even if they're not, it's your fault. You chose to be nice to a person. That doesn't mean you're a good or bad person. Or doesn't mean you're an idiot. But if I choose to give it, I don't know, bad example. If I go McDonald's and I'm mad hungry and I see you're hungry and I choose to give you my burger, when the shoe's on the other foot and you go McDonald's and you see me and you've got the burger and you don't give it to me, I can't be upset. Sure, I would like people to return that generosity, but you can't expect that in life. And like I said, I'm not defending Wenger, but you would think a man that stuck by you when Arsenal fans were getting on to you, and let's be honest, if it was another manager historically, not to dig out Giroud, Theo, Ramsey, a lot of these players wouldn't be at the club. You know, Wenger's always forced you into the side. He stuck by you when you've been in poor form and fans have been on your back, and he stuck by you when you broke your leg. So you would think, and if it's not true, don't get me wrong, guys, this is all just newspaper, we'll never know. If it's not true, then Ramsey's cool, but you would think you'd have a bit more class, like, for yourself. Like, I proper don't rate it. I proper don't rate it, like, away from Wenger. Like, you can't, like, you can't behave like that. Like, you're regardless, we know that the change room is fractured and divided and all of these things, but you're still one. You're still a change room. You ride the high times together with the FA Cups and you ride the lows. Clearly, you want to leave the club, or I personally think you're going to leave the club. I personally think all of the top six, bar Spurs for obvious reasons, and City because they don't need him, will probably, maybe not, it won't be the top of their wish list, but will keep their eyes open. Chelsea have signed some midfielders that, I mean, Barkley, I'm not going to get into it, Barkley, Drinkwater, Bakayoko, none of them have quite hit the heights, at least Bakayoko was thought of that. Ramsey could be an extremely fake Lampard for Chelsea, running up there and things like that, and he's joining a side that just won a league, last year won a league title, and they are more competitive than Arsenal. They might not be in the Champions League if they keep playing like they're playing and Spurs get on their backs, but yeah, I can't rate the molding. There's just some things you should keep in-house, like some of these things we shouldn't know about. We should not know certain things, whether you like the players you're with, whether you like the people you're working with. I proper don't rate it. And if you're going to do that, that makes me think, what more are you leaking? What are you prone to leaking in the future? Like, you got to be able to trust a teammate. And if I was there in the Arsenal side and I found out it was a man, I couldn't trust him. We don't, like I said, we won't know if this is real or fake because, yeah, we're not, unless you know Ramsey or you're in the loop with this football club, you'll never know. Well, I can't rate it. I mean, the first thing I thought about is Pep Guardiola. I'm so sure in his last season, someone in the Bayern Munich change room was doing this. Proper can't rate it. What else would you leak? Like, if you do this, what else would you do? Like, what else would you do? Like, I proper don't rate it, because it shows a lack of respect for yourself, and it shows a lack of respect for your teammates. Not that they're any deserving of it, because the players ain't respecting themselves, but I proper don't rate it, man. I proper don't rate it, man. There's not much more to be said. Guys, Deluded Gooner, YouTube's and Golo Kante. Get in the comments, subscribe, and do the rest. I'm out.